New Black Wall Street Book Club. Evan Jefferson, brother, much love. Educating, elevating, because in knowledge is the power and we'll never give it up. Literature that's for the masses. Where to put your money down, now how to watch your assets. Yeah, uplifting others is a passion. My brother Evan, he will turn it into action. New Black Wall Street Book Club. You should come read with us. Yeah, we comprehend and discuss. If we all just come together, there's no limit for us. Here comes your host, New Black Wall Street. Evan, take it away. New Black Wall Street. New Black Wall Street Book Club.
All right. People, thanks much for tonight on the New Black Wall Street Book Club, the After Dark edition. 30 minutes a night to help keep your everlasting mind right. I'm your host, ERGJ, your certified global financial educator, CEO of ERGJ Enterprises, The Black Bazaar, and international best-selling author of the book, The Black Billionaires Club. Book that I wrote, guys, The Study of Black Wealth. It's a study of the 12 richest Black people in the world today and how they built their wealth. And I just truly believe that if you want to be wealthy, that's a big if, by the way. But if you do, I recommend that you study wealthy people. All right, you can find the book by simply going to the website, theblackbillionairesclub.com, theblackbillionairesclub.com. You can find the book is available in soft copy, got about 8 copies left, also available in ebook, and then you can find it in French and ebook and also audiobook as well. The Black Billionaires Club. Again, pick up the book yourself and all that. Man, it's roll call time. Let's find out who's joining us here tonight. It's got 14 people who are watching right now live. Of course, if you might be catching the replay as well. Go ahead, hit that like button, share button if you care, your follow button, subscribe button, all this stuff. If you are your brother's keeper, if you are your sister's keeper, go ahead and hit the tag button as well. Also, let us know where you're connecting from. What city, what state, what country, what city, what state, what country. Just love to know how far our reach is here tonight as we're broadcast across the World Wide Web and the Facebook and also YouTube. Understanding that, worldwide simply means global. And we have students all over the world. So just love to know how far our reach is here tonight. As we're going to continue our journey into the University of Success. So go ahead and rep your city. What city, what state, what country, what city, what state, what country. We'll go ahead and shout you out as well. Find out who's here with us here tonight on the New Black Wall Street Book Club, the After Dark edition. Shamir Redfern, oh my goodness. What's going on, sister? Thanks so much for joining us here tonight out of Atlanta, Georgia. Nita Diane out of Albany, Georgia is joined as well. Who else is joining us here tonight on the New Black Wall Street Book Club as we're going to continue our journey into this book called The University of Success, and this actually is like a lesson, like you're going to school. This book is written by Mandino, and we're into lesson number 9 tonight. Lesson number 9. So I want to prep you guys, especially if you are new. This is your first time here with us here. Amanda Hollingsworth has joined us here out of Atlanta. This is serious business. The book told us gave us a little bit of headway about reading and reading at night. And what we found is that reading at night activates our subconscious mind. And so in saying that, I just want hopefully to help you prepare for the downloads that are come from your Father or from God or from infinite intelligence tonight unto you because you decided to join us here tonight. And so, I guess my best advice would be to make sure you have some type of pen, paper readily available or your nightstand. That way, if you get woken up in the middle of the night with a billion dollar idea, you can capture it. Okay. So tonight we are going to continue our journey. This is part 2 into how to make the most of your own abilities. How to make the most of your own abilities. Now, I'm gonna go back and read the quote for this particular lesson, which says this. How is it that many individuals who possess only limited capabilities managed to attract great admiration for extraordinary results. Everybody putting console extraordinary. How is it that many individuals who possess only limited capabilities manage to attract great admiration for extraordinary results? Extraordinary results. Now, when we left off yesterday, I believe we were getting into some poem. Yeah, he said, some men's passion is gold, some men's passion is fame. My passion is souls. And that was General William Booth, who was the founder of the Salvation Army. So we're going to pick up where we left off at yesterday here. Again, how to make the most out of your own abilities. New Black Wall Street Book Club. Let's read. The concentration of his will towards serving dejected humanity gave power to his capacities. Jane Addams, founder of the Hull House in Chicago and world benefactor, discovered the purpose of her life at an early age. When only 6, she glimpsed the Tucson Waller in the back streets of Freeport, Illinois. The sight impressed her so deeply that she insisted that when she grew up, she would have a big house like the one in which she lived, only it would stand among little like those. The sense of compassion never deserted her. It became the focal point of her abilities, and the whole house became the big friendly house standing in the midst of the little houses, fulfilling her childhood dream. But would Jane Addams ever become Jane Addams without her sense of purpose? Or would Hull House ever have been born? Without a corresponding sense of purpose, can we reach the levels of attainment that which lie within our power to achieve? Sustained by such a purpose, will any hardship thwart or deter us? Consult some difficult chapter in your personal experience for the answer. Perhaps your struggle to gain an education. You had to make your own way financially, and the going was hard. You received little help except for those from your own two hands and your will to succeed. Everybody put in comments, so purpose. We're still talking about purpose. We're still talking about the big why. One of my favorite mentors, or what was he, like, I guess, motivational speaker, he talked about why, and he also talked about why not. Why? Sense of purpose can fuel you. You receive little help except from your own two hands, your will to succeed. You did without many things the other students had, and there were periods where you did not think that you would be able to pull through, but somehow you did. The proud day finally arrived when, with the motorboard she triumphantly and shouted, "I have done it. I have done it." What's going on, Gerald? How are you? Thanks so much for joining us. Purpose from Nita Diane. Purpose from Miss Shamir Redfern. You would not wish to go through that trying period again. But is it not true that some of the most precious personal values that then receive would not be yours if the way had been easy and the road smooth? Your talents were tempered and expanded. You learned patience and endurance and the value of money. The sacrifices you were called to make prove worthwhile, and you do not regret the hardships you endured. The lesson is clear. In whatever area we wish to apply our abilities and to find the happiness of personal accomplishment, we must be willing to sacrifice for the expansion of our talents. How many guys are willing to sacrifice? You're willing to sacrifice for the expansion of your talents. Having taken stock of our inclinations and abilities and having prepared them for use of a compelling purpose, the next step is to put our talents to work. Everybody put in comments, so put your talents to work. In using them, we develop them. Even if our abilities seem small to us or the opportunity to use them seems insignificant, it is important to exercise them to the fullest. Third servant in the parable was condemned, not because he had used his talent for an evil purpose, but because he had failed to use it at all. That was his shortcoming. Put your talents to work. What's going on, Nita Diane? Put your talents to work. Jamal Harold, put your talents to work. The practical truth of this insight is demonstrated all about us. People with ordinary talents often achieve more than those with greater physical and intellectual endowments because they work harder with what they have. In the ancient story of the hare and the hare could run much faster than the tortoise. He had far more ability, yet the tortoise won the race because he used his ability to the utmost. He kept plodding toward the goal while the hare dallied along the way. The race is not always to the swift, nor do achievement and success always accrue to those with the nimblest wits and the highest IQs. Many individuals fail to achieve success for the same reason that Jim did not become wealthy in the gold rush days. Jim remained a never do well in the midst of riches. A friend explained, Jim has the gold fever, but he doesn't have the digging principle. We should not acquiesce as easily. For our own good, we should scorn the easy way and second best. The digging principle is important. When we match our abilities against something hard each day, some task that seems beyond our capacity, we are exercising will, mind, and body to good purpose. As we master hard things, we gain the ability to handle still more difficult assignments and fuller responsibilities. As we struggle, we grow. As we struggle, we grow. After Podrusky played before the Queen Victoria, the sovereign exclaimed, enthusiastic, Mr. Podrusky, you are a genius. Ah, Your Majesty, replied, perhaps, but before I was a genius, I was a drudge. In putting our talents to work, imagination adds amazing outreach to our capacities. It opens doors of achievement and happiness which we do not anticipate, and which once we would have believed to be beyond our wildest hopes of attainment. The power of imagination is one of man's greatest assets, one of the qualities which makes him unique. Think of attempting to turn a stubborn nut from a bolt with only your thumb and forefinger. Imaginative fashion and extension of the thumb and the forefinger, the first wrench was born. And today, specialized tools do the work of many powerful hands. Imagine trying to drive a spike with your clenched fist. Creative individuals in the distant past put convenient stone to drive a primitive peg, then devised a crude hammer. Thus, man's strength was multiplied. Imagination was fascinated by fire, and the internal combustion engine captured its flame. Imagination watched steam, and the steam engine became seeds from cotton pods, deemed of writing not done by hand that could be multiplied, envisioned mechanical means to sow and to reap grain, harness the lightning, flung heavier than air machines, one step to another. Imagination has led mankind to the heights of achievement. Everybody put in console, imagination. It has produced every article we use, made every discovery for the betterment of our health and comfort, built every church and institution, and sponsored the manifold complexities of modern civilization. It is the priceless ingredient of moral, sociological, and scientific advance, a better day, and a happier personal life. Imagination is creative, as industry is fully aware. The Aluminum Company of America coined a new word, Imagineering. The company explains that in Imagineering, soar and engineer it down to earth. We are wise to apply the same principle in the use of our abilities. Said Marcus Aurelius, as thy thoughts are, so will thy mind be also. For the soul takes its coloring from thought. When we fail to use imagination, our lives become routine. Routine leads to a rut of complacency, and complacency is deadly to the creative expansion of our skills. Imagination looks at each situation with fresh eyes and discovers possibilities hitherto unseen. A little French girl, for instance, the daughter of a poor Parisian, had prayed for money to hire a model to pose for her. She had been born almost with a paintbrush in her hand, and painting was her consuming passion. But no francs fell in the backyard in answer to her earnest prayers. Then one day, while she was taking a walk in the marketplace, she called on her imagination to answer her problem. And there he was, standing strong and still before her, waiting to be painted. She had found her model, a farmer's horse. He would not mind posing for her, she was sure. And if she did not mind painting him. In a fury of excitement, she rushed for her easel and brushes. Today, in the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City, we can view a famous canvas entitled The Horse Fair, painted by Rosa Bonheur, noted for her masterly painting of horses. Imagination is important. Everybody put that console. Imagination is important. So is enthusiasm. In the parable, who did his talent in earth lacked both. Even a superficial study of successful personality shows that without exception, they are imbued with enthusiasm for their work and are alive with ideas for the future. They're excited about what they are doing and they communicate their excitement to others. Their abilities take on a powerful thrust which they would lack without it. An architect once built a model of a beautiful church which he had designed. The model was exquisite in symmetry, line, and detail, but something was missing. It was lifeless and cold. Then he placed the light inside, and suddenly the inertness was gone. The little church glowed with warmth and life and beauty. Enthusiasm does that to our abilities. It places a light inside. It makes them glow with warmth and vitality. The word itself comes from the root meaning from the root meaning of God possessed. This makes clear both the source of the importance which the ancients attached to the quality of enthusiasm. A glance at its synonyms reveal why this should be so: eagerness, warmth, ardor, fervor. Nothing does like fire. When we are aflame with enthusiasm, our powers expand and our wholeheartedness becomes contagious. But enthusiasm, imagination, and even purpose cannot reach satisfying objectives until they are yoked with persistent, determined effort. It follows then that we must persevere in use. Everybody put in the console, persevere. A man overheard an aged Irishman giving some advice to a boy who was boarding a ship to seek his fortune. Now, Michael, me boy, the old man said, just remember the 3 bones and you'll get along all right. The curiosity of the bystander prompted him to ask the Irishman what he meant by the 3 bones. Sure now, replied the aged son of Aaron with a twinkle in his eye, and wouldn't it be the wishbone, the jawbone, and the backbone? It's the wishbone that keeps you going after things. It's the jawbone that helps you ask the questions that are necessary to finding them. And it is the backbone that helps you persevere. It's the backbone that helps you persevere through it all. To find happiness, which comes through making the most of our abilities, we must persevere in using them and making them responsive to our bidding. Persistent effort often spells the difference between success and failure. As in the splitting of a log in which all former axe strokes are wasted if we do not keep at it until we strike the last blow, so we waste our energies unless we demonstrate the abilities come into their own. Certainly little of lasting worth ever has been accomplished except by those who have dared to persist in the face of frowning circumstances. Something within them was superior to the obstacles they encountered. A final suggestion is to fill our present place to overflowing. Everybody put in console, overflow. Whatever position we may occupy, we can give it the benefit of our finest effort. The man may say to himself, I'm too good for this job. It is too small a position for a person of my talents. There is no opportunity here to expand my powers. In contempt, he refuses to invest his complete capacities in the meager job. Inevitably, he becomes dissatisfied, restless, and unhappy. He fails his responsibility. He fails his own future opportunity. And worst of all, he fails himself. A successful and greatly revered businessman in a Western state says that his early life, his mother gave him a priceless gift, a vision of service. Arthur, she told him, it is not how much you can get from a job that's important. It's how much you can put into it that counts. The success and influence which radiate from his kindly life reveal how fully he has followed his vision. In recounting the incident, he said, through all the years, I've never forgotten what my mother had said that day. I've tried to live by the principle of not how much, but how well. Talent, like muscle, grows through exercise. If we fail to extend ourselves and merely go through the motions while we wait for something more fitted to our abilities to come along, we are headed for continual frustration. We may think that we have ability enough to warrant stopping at the top, but almost any chance to start at the top is digging a hole first. Consider this fine sentence. God has never put anyone in a place too small to grow. Wherever our place may be, the farm, and you're on a counter, at the teacher's desk, in the kitchen, wearing a uniform or caring for a child, we will, when we fill that place to the best of our abilities, personal growth is inevitable. 3 things at least begin to happen. We do a better job of what we are doing. We expand our talents through vigorous use. And we fit those larger responsibility and wider opportunity. Man, so much goodness in this chapter, in this lesson, number 9. How to make the most of your own abilities. This is the New Black Wall Street Book Club, where Black folk do read 30 minutes a night to keep your everlasting mind right. I'm your host, ERGJ, your certified global financial educator, CEO of ERGJ Enterprises, ERGJ Black Bazaar, and international best-selling author of the book, The Black Billionaires Club. I want you guys to remember this, that it takes a village. It starts with us. Let's build, keep on building. Let's build. I don't know the rest of what I'm about to say, man. Takes a village, so let's build. I don't know. We all got, beautiful people. Matter of fact, we really need. And thank God, that's more than enough. Until next episode, you know what time it is. Mr. DJ, hit the music.
It's the New Black Wall Street Book Club. With your host, Evan Jefferson. It's time for us to go. Yeah. Now, you ain't got to leave the computer, but we encourage you to get out there and learn and apply all the things you learn at the New Black Wall Street Book Club. Yeah. The New Black Wall Street. The New Black Wall Street Book Club.